Welcome to another fantastic episode of Behind the Bar. We're doing some fun little Smokey experiments, and we got a series of things to try out, and we got a lot to get through today. But before we get into all of that, my name is Chandler Phillips.
I'm James Beery.
And remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow Was That in Good Taste, Behind the Bar, tasting tables, etc., etc. Let's get in to getting nice.
We're getting nice and smoky. We got our little incense mix here.
Wink.
This is lead them into. I'm loving this. This is good.
So what we're trying today is a series of different woods to burn because, you know, it's been real popular.
Ooh, it's crazy. Oh.
Oh, does it have a...
No, it's not that. We're learning. You can't do it like that because it's flame.
Oh, so it'll shoot back up itself.
Yeah, the liquid. Yeah, the liquid. Keep talking. I'm learning.
Watch your fingies.
Ooh.
So we got you actually. I forget what it's called, but it's let's just say it's the hot box.
I got it from Bespoke Post.
It's a bespoke post, and it is where you would put a little bit of wood and then some sort of delightful little spirit in a glass, and you just kind of smoke it in the vicinity. Now there's a handful of different ways that smoked spirits have been kind of brought to recent popularity. Some of them do the thing where it's like a disc, like a wooden disc above that sits like on top of your drink, and then the smoke falls down as you burn an incense the way it would here. But I always thought it was a bit confusing because, oh, that is delightful.
It's a little earthy.
It's a little earthy. I tried to stoke it just a little bit. Didn't work. And in fact, it blew ashes into my face. So,
Don't do this at home.
that's just a little thing that we're learning as we're doing these smoking experiments.
Don't smoke at home, kids.
Yeah, go out to public places like parks and places where there's a lot of
I'm not playing with fire. I'm trying
dead
to like this
plant
incense.
material. The best place to smoke is actually near schools.
Yes, that is definitely do that. So we have here a mixture of different woods here. Of course, you can't just burn any wood. These are treated woods that are food safe.
They're
with
food-safe
additives.
smoking chips.
I guess you wouldn't eat them, but they're safe for smoking foods.
I don't think there's too many additives. It's more like it's cured in the right way, so that
That's what I mean.
doesn't.
It's lacking additives.
It's the lack of additives that make it all the food safer. And we got a variety that starts with cherry wood. We got a little mesquite. We got a little hickory, and we got some apple wood. I was gonna read it, Bois de Pommier, and I guess that's. Do they all have a French translation?
No, that's just what this one is. This one, oh, I didn't realize that they do.
They do. Oh, it's just all the other ones. Oh, Bois de Cherissière. So that one's the cherry wood. Listen up. This one's for the boys. Applewood and cherry wood. We were doing a little sniff test of just the wood beforehand. Just to kind of do a little tasting of these. Did you have any thoughts, feelings, opinions, something that you wanted to try?
First one, even the smoking, why, right? What's the smoking? That's actually something that's like super popular in some of these like craft bars, right? And of course in a lot of these like fancy restaurants where they'll like smoke the things, because smoke, magic is not just smoke. It carries the particulates, the bits.
The carcinogens.
The physical bits of this that light on fire, that become light enough to float into the air, to land into your beverage, to give it both an aromatic and or flavor difference.
Lets you taste the heat and the meat.
Don't do this at home, of course. Make sure you always have a fire extinguisher on hand. And so first let's go over what we have here. I absolutely know nothing about these. We have apple wood.
Yeah.
Right?
It's made from apple wood.
Is that trees from the applewood tree?
I think it's just trees from an apple tree, or is there?
I don't know. I love this. This is great.
I'm gonna say
How
that
about
there
this?
is specifically apple wood and there's cherry wood, and they are different from the trees that produce apples and or cherries. Mesquite, however, now
I was going to ask, what about mesquite?
of the ones that I gave a sniff test to, the mesquite was my favorite. It had the most kind of earthy, mulchy kind of vibe that was like real enticing. I think the hickory, though nice, it was a little bit more just lumber. Whereas the mesquite, you kind of took me back to like when you peel the bark off of a redwood tree, and you feel a little guilty about it because you're like, oh no, do you need this bark? But then you remember it's just gonna grow back.
It's just going to grow back. It's just bark.
It's just
It
bark.
just hurt the trees.
I mean, aren't we all hurting a little bit? At least theirs is on the outside.
Hickory.
Like I said, the hickory is also a type of tree. I think it's a nutting tree.
What kind of, are they hickory nuts?
I think so. It's like kind of like a chestnut.
They all have different color characteristics. Obviously, it's a little difficult for you to see here. So you see here the mesquite. It's a little darker. The hickory here, the chips. So these are like long, thin.
The hickory
Are a little bit thicker and have a lighter characteristic.
a little bit more of like a cubed chip, whereas the mesquite looks a little bit more shredded.
The applewood looks a little bit like the hickory, and its complexion is kind of in between the mesquite and the hickory.
And then last, we have the cherry wood, again, kind of similar in its complexion to the hickory, but also kind of has a little bit of a fractured, sharp, like it looks like a tad bit harder wood. We also have a variety of different spirits to try it with. I'm real excited to just dive on in. So like we were saying, sometimes you do the thing where it goes on top. Sometimes people will do the thing where you put your glass upside down over the thing you're burning. We'll just see how this goes. We'll try maybe a couple different methods.
Okay, so I guess first we'll go with the method that seems to be what this was made for. You cannot do this just on anything. I know this came in a kit from Bespoke Post, but this is treated wood. It's simply treated, very little. You know, that means that if you put the flame on it, it's not gonna just like poison you. You can't just do this on anything, especially because a lot of woods, a lot of those things, I feel like the cake holders and stuff, they're like polished.
There's a little bit of a glaze.
Yeah, they do varnish, and you don't want to introduce that into your lungs. So make sure that you have something that's hard, food safe for this. Okay, it's super important because we're going to be taking wood, placing it on this other wood surface, taking this pistola here, right, lighting it on fire, covering it with the glass, right, and hopefully the particulates and stuff
will rise up
and
fall down.
And fall down to the glass. So I think first we should
like
start.
All great empires.
I'll be interesting with this Brooklyn 77, right? Is that?
Oh no, this is
the. That's what I want.
Oh, Brooklyn. Oh, that would be a great one to.
Yeah.
Oh, if only.
Sorry,
If
I
only
mean
our
the John L.
supplier-
Pepper 1776, which we've definitely spoken about and featured before. This here, of course, is just like your. I believe it's 100 proof bourbon, right? It's. What is it, like $34 or something like that?
Oh, this one came in
28.
It is $28.
Yeah, it's 28. It's delicious. It's a little sweet. It's simple, kind of the thing that I think is worth just kind of like having in your home bar, right? And I feel like that'd go good with something pretty simple. I think a little hickory.
Hickory with a.
Now, why hickory? Because I know nothing about these. I don't know the difference. And hickory is one that I recognize. And that's kind of how you end up with John L. Pepper in your glass in a bar.
It's the one that recognizes.
Right.
It's one of my favorites. Just like
I'm really gonna do
it's
a bigger pile than is probably needed here, right?
And then as we discard it, we can discard it to our little smoking bowl over here.
So I'm gonna. So always remember.
Never forget.
Okay. Don't do it on top of a plastic table. Don't turn it all the way up. Make sure you turn it a little bit.
Oh.
So, yeah, look at that.
Because I think we've learned over a couple of different instances that if you put it on full blast and then light it right on the chips, it just shoots the chips everywhere. And though it is hilarious, it is a fire hazard. All right, I'm gonna give it a little time to smoke.
There we
see it
go.
kinda
Now,
hitting the
obviously,
dough.
this might be a little difficult, I think, to see on camera here.
Smoke is
right?
notoriously easy to film.
Oh, yeah, totally. Oh, man. Especially with all these nice, bright lights.
If
You
there's
know.
one thing I know about smoke and apparitions, it's that they just love the camera. And
So-
the camera loves them back.
It seems to be like it's smoldering, right? But the thing I think is super interesting about it is that you can see it on the camera that it's getting cloudier, right?
With
so
a
how
chance
long
of
are we gonna?
meatballs.
Wait, what do you think it's gonna taste like?
What I think it's going to taste like, I think it's going to have characteristics of a longer aged bourbon because it was like it's got the touch of smoke to it. Maybe not a longer aged, a double barreled so I think what is it? Woodford Reserve has a double barrel thing, the specialty.
Yeah,
It's the
yeah.
one that's in like the little short, or it's double oaked is what it is. So it's the same idea. They take their whiskey, they put it in a barrel, and sometimes it loses a little bit of that juice or like of the
Oh my god.
oh yeah. It loses just a tiny bit of what makes the barrel smokiness so intense. And so then they swap it out for a brand new barrel or just a recently charred barrel because the bourbon laws, etc., you're going to end up going through a whole bunch of barrels. If you can, kind of get your money's worth, then you just retorch the inside of a used barrel. You can't make bourbon with that, but what you can do is just, double age the stuff that you've already, it already meets the qualifications to be bourbon, because then you're just basically finishing it in a specialty barrel. It could be sherry, it could be port, it could be really whatever the hell you want it to be. You just happen to chose a double charred white American oak
While
barrel.
this is smoking, how about you give this a taste? And so, there's a few things that should be happening here. One, the particulates from the smoke are going to be going into the glass, not only into the whiskey, but onto the insides, the sides, the top of the glass, as well as in the room. So that's going to influence the taste and the characteristic a little bit, right? So what does it taste like? I know we didn't do it. We didn't do what do you call it? Like a the base test. Okay, we know what it tastes like. Okay?
Yeah, well, we
We've had
did,
it.
just it
Yeah.
wasn't on
Yeah.
camera. That's
Sorry.
it was our baseline.
That's like behind the bar.
That's like under the bar in the basement. That's
Yeah, you're not
behind the basement.
invited.
On the nose, it smells like it smells like a campfire. It's kind of, which is to be expected. Hickory is a pretty commonly used firewood. It's a pretty common hardwood, pretty common cooking, like barbecue smoking kind of wood. And it has not the intense of like smoke being blown in your face. It's kind of like you sat next to a fire pit a day or so ago, and now your beanie still kind of smells like it because it got
Beanie. Oh, him and these beanies.
like
I'm from SoCal.
I'm not from there.
Oh, you're from this NorCal?
Where the beanie is a year-long thing. I am a fan. It's not as rich as you would expect, like the Woodford Double Oak to be, because that one, the smoking is different. It has direct barrel contact, and that's kind of what makes it weird. Ooh, that one, you've retained a good amount of smoke on the head. That looked a little bit more concentrated than I think it burned better.
I spread it out this time. I'm learning. I'm learning, okay? Because before I put it into a little mound, less surface area, which means it's not actually burning as much. So instead of doing that, I spread it out a little bit over a little bit of the area,
Okay.
and that allows it to burn more, a little evenly, more
You
concentrated.
get a wider surface area of the flame, so it might run out of oxygen a little bit quicker, but that just means it's able to keep smoking a bit more after that.
And of course, it's not like hermetically sealed. I think that it's affected the characteristic of it, even with the smoke wafting in my face. Not too much. I think that's kind of a characteristic of hickory. Hickory smoked things give you a sort of mildly smoky, woody kind of thing. It's not. I don't think hickory is particularly overly powerful.
It's not a very aromatic
Nah,
wood.
I don't think so as well. I might have poured too much for a little tasty bite. Okay, going forward, not as big. Not
Okay.
maybe not.
Dial it back just a tiny
Maybe
bit.
just look at that. I get yeah.
Oh, you got your work cut out for you. I am putting together in my head what I want to do next, and I think
So what's so interesting about smoking? Like, what do you think is interesting about it? And what's the thing that you're thinking about?
so. We're used to getting the smoky flavor in things that are like mezcal and scotch and bourbon, and all of those smokes come from a different source. Mezcal, the smoke comes from the way the heart of the agave is prepared, and because it's roasted and like done in the ground. Wait, what? Why don't you just pour that into there?
Because that's not burned.
You just keep throwing the burnt ends on top of it.
I'm gonna put. This is a mixture of wood chips and natural herbs. Mm-hmm. That could be legal in some states. I don't know what you're talking about. And it all just didn't burn because because it's powderier, it sank to the bottom. So I think that I kind of here's the thing about the oak. The oak didn't do it for me with that. Can I have the pepper again, please?
Oh,
I'm
back to the
I'm
pepper.
gonna do a light splash this time because we were drinking a little bit before.
I wanted to make sure that there was enough in there to actually absorb some of the smoke
No,
flavor.
yeah. I think this will be enough.
Yeah.
I think that'll be enough.
Now you got, what is it? I believe the mesquite in with something a little bit more odoriferous.
A little bit more herbaceous.
Or, yeah. But I thought this would be interesting to try things that don't have that traditional smokiness to them, such as one of our recent fan favorites, the Van Brunt Hopped Edition, as well as Chairman's Reserve rum, just an aged rum. Because, they get their barrel aging, but not all the barrels are aged in the same way. Not all of them are charred in the same way.
If you think we're missing something, or if there's something that you'd like to see us smoke, or that you'd like to try, let us know, like in the comment section, because we'll try it. We'll get it, and we'll see if it's good or not.
Does it smoke?
Does it smoke? I know I do.
I also, I got a little zesty. I brought out that cognac you got,
I noticed.
and I thought, let's
Woo!
fuck around and see what.
Okay.
Oh. Interesting. Thoughts, comments.
Throw that back.
Throw that.
Throw that back. Okay, so the hickory definitely did something, because this is definitely herbal. It's more herbaceous.
Yeah.
It's definitely more spicy, right? So we're definitely seeing that.
It almost kind of tastes like burnt popcorn.
I could absolutely see that.
Like not bad burnt popcorn, but like you catch just a slightly overdone kernel in the rest of what is a otherwise pretty good batch of popcorn. I think I want to try something a little crazy.
I'm ready for it. So again, this is like one of the things I always talk about, which is being creative, like not just in the kitchen, but like also in the bar. Like just because look, there's tons of rules and tons of fun, but people are always like discovering new things, right? Mm-hmm. And really, it's not so much discovering as either rediscovering things that were like, either forgotten, or for like some silly reason racism is not around anymore, or breaking rules that are long established. Because that's one of the things that, it's like, you would never do that, so people don't think to do this.
They just, this one, granted, I saw via a TikTok of a bar that was doing espresso martinis, where they took espresso beans and
What beans?
espresso. Did you think I said espresso?
I don't express anything less.
I am a proud, vaguely Italian American. And by that I mean I don't think I'm Italian at all. But, you know.
So this is a single origin Kenya. Okay.
Actually, no, this one's the Red Hook one.
Is
This
it?
one's
I thought
the
this
Brooklyn
was
Red
the
Hook.
coffee that you took. I think you took it from my kitchen.
I did take it from your kitchen. There was a little bag on the was that one not yours?
Doesn't matter. It's not. I thought we were gonna do it in Kenya. It's okay.
Wait, was that one that's in the coffee maker?
Yeah.
Oh, then wait, because I did take a couple beans from that too.
There we go. You can tell the difference. Look at
one is significantly more.
So there's
roasted
a
and
reason for
fermented.
this, okay? Because what we're gonna do, we're gonna light it on fire, right? And so we're gonna do is we're gonna get a lot of the volatile the compounds out of here, right? However, you're forgetting something about coffee.
What's
and
that?
It may seem silly, right? But by doing something like this, you have to think about the coffee you're doing it with, right? Because you're having fun in the kitchen, but if you look, hopefully you can see, there's one that's much lighter and one that's a little darker, right? Because the one that's darker has been roasted for longer, which means it's closer to being burnt.
But it tastes so good.
You know, and this medium roast is less burnt.
So it'll have different kind of aromas coming, espressoing out of itself.
Oh God!
I kind of thought I just thought the darker coffee beans were the more espresso-y ones.
Well, I mean that's because of Starbucks.
Oh.
That's kind of well, we're getting into like a little side tangent here.
A little inside baseball action.
But that's kind of like their thing, you know. So people tend to think that. And the reason why that's important, of course, is like you're mixing things together, you're doing things, right? There's like two things. One is fun, one other is intentionality. We're doing it
Intention is everything.
because this is going to be like fun. But how? So do I just roast the beans?
I'm
I'm lighting it on fire because I bought this.
I would say
like $80
you light them on fire. Okay. That's so in.
And what's now?
In
And
the
this
TikTok.
is and this is for the glass. So are we gonna do like? Because I feel like this, because the glass, we don't want to, because the glass is like this old ass glass. I knew it was gonna get like fucked up. It'll get like weird on the inside. So we'll just probably want to smoke the glass itself, and then add the liquor.
I think so.
All right,
That's how it was done on they took the coupe glass, and then just singed some coffee beans, and then tip the glass
And then
over
what's gonna
the top.
go into the glass?
That's what I am kind of puzzling. I kind of
We're
want.
gonna have a second to think about it.
All right, here's where I'm thinking.
Wow, you can see the heat bending off of this guy.
That's intense.
You're gonna be a lid guy.
Oh wait, am I doing? No, I was gonna. Oh, I had this. Okay, I got my idea.
Well, we're gonna do the glasses first, right?
Yep. So I'm questioning between either the tequila or
All right, it's
the
ready.
cognac, and I kind of want to do the cognac because why not?
Yeah, why not?
A coffee and cognac, coffee smoked cognac. Pardon me. Here we go.
Yeah, this worked.
Yeah.
Yeah, because look, you can see all the smoke is
Oh, and it's condensing in it
condensing
too.
in the glass. Now, of course, people out there are going to be like, well, you're using the same glass as before. You're not doing the dishes. So I don't want to hear your nonsense. Sticking the glass over burning coffee beans, I think will contribute enough flavor difference. Okay, thank you very much.
So what's this? Pierre Ferrand?
So this is an amber. Remember we had a conversation about this. We actually featured this.
This has been featured before.
Right, because there's different types of cognac.
Oh, this is the first crew.
Yeah, this is the first cru de cognac. Okay,
That means it's good.
and this was a gift for me from somebody, and it was great, and I love it, and it's amazing, and it's gonna be super good like this. So we're gonna just do this right now, because look at that.
Ooh.
Ooh,
That's an interesting aroma coming off of them.
Hold on, I'm gonna get it kind of quick because I really want to get this while you
Yeah,
prep
I'll
the next
set
one.
I'll set the next one.
Do you want me to tell you or want me to...
Give your synopsis. Can you hand me the phaser? The blaster. The pshum shum.
Oh my God, what are you doing?
Wait,
Put your finger on this.
Wait, that's the part that moves? I thought that was the part that didn't move. I don't know. Sometimes things are so cartoony, they don't make sense. You know? Just like life sometimes.
Here's the thing. Savory.
Ooh.
Savory. So, of course, when it comes to coffee, extracting the compounds out of coffee, you grind the coffee, right? You expose the coffee to like hot water and agitation, and then you get like the caffeine, and you get like the oils, and of course, you know, the heat activates a lot of the compounds that are in the coffee.
Yes, we all know this. Of
Right?
course,
Of
obviously.
course. Obviously. So that means that we're going to be getting some of the coffee flavors, but we're going to be getting flavors that you don't normally associate with coffee because you
Like the burnt oil?
because you break up coffee into little pieces, pour hot water over it, which is not as hot as flame. You agitate it gently, and then it goes into water.
So now we're doing just a tad bit more than just agitating. We are actively aggravating. And
it's what it smells like. It smells like burnt ends, but not the ends themselves, but the smoke from the ends.
like
Savory,
brisket burnt ends?
meaty.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, give it a whiff, give it a whiff, give it a whiff, give it a whiff.
Oh. Oh, you know.
You see it, it's meaty, it's savory.
Wow. A little splash of that in there. Immediately off the bat, it kind of reminds me of when you walk past a halal cart or like one of the ones in Times Square, and you know that they just kind of burnt something, but like in the best way. Like they got that really
It's
good.
like going to Joe's Pizza and the pizza's like pretty much burnt, but it's delicious. You like the burntness. Oh yeah, drink that. Yeah, it's good. It's so savory. Absolutely, super savory.
Meaty was a great descriptor. It has kind of like you just opened a bag of jerky, and it's a bit peppery, and almost like peppery, but with a slight teriyaki twinge to it. Whoa! And with this, with the cognac, it's got that sweetness that blends so well with that umami savoriness, because it's not like overly peppery where it's got like that spice. It's just like, my goodness, it's almost like you just roasted portobellos too. Like it's
yes, earthy, meaty, herbaceous.
wow. I was not expecting that.
And that's why
volatile.
That's why I did that whole spree on like that, because those are the things that you don't really think about. Because you would think it's gonna taste like coffee, but you don't light the coffee in your cup on fire.
Well, not all the time.
You know.
Sometimes it lights a fire in me.
So actually, I'm super interested in, right, is that I noticed that you have this rum.
Yes.
And you bought the sugar here.
Oh, you mean this Demerara sugar?
Yeah. Okay. So I was thinking that and the applewood, or the cherry wood, but I've used a bit of the cherry wood. I haven't really used the applewood.
I would like to see what the applewood and just a tiny bit of sugar would do.
And I was thinking about the fact that, okay, so caramelization of sugar, and remember again, be careful, because these things are extremely hot, okay? Messing around with sugar, unless you're amazing like me, okay? And you have a fire extinguisher right off frame. I'll have to go upstairs.
It's close enough.
It's close.
It's near.
Honestly, I feel like we can get it.
Yeah. So the thought idea, and I'm glad.
So I'm mixing I'm doing a little mixing.
Oh, a little. Oh, smart thinking.
Because I'm gonna spread it out.
And I'll get a nice even flame,
And
nice
then
surface area
I'm gonna top it with a little bit more, to really try to get a little bit of that burnt sugar. Because what I think is gonna happen is, one, you don't want to light too much of the sugar on fire too much, because it'll just burn and stick to the fucking wood.
Right, and then you just have burnt sugar on here. Now, at least you throw in some wood, and it might be a little bit easier to get off.
Yeah. And
But
it also acts as fuel.
True, it keeps it burning. Because the sugar won't necessarily hold a flame the same way that wood would.
What are you thinking? Did I go off on a random spree? I just started doing stuff.
I think...
I just started doing stuff.
I think it was a guided random spree, because, full disclosure, it was a plant. I planted that there in the hopes that you would find the rum and the Demerara brown sugar.
Yeah, of course. I knew it. Because obviously, when it comes to one, of course, there's just the correlation, the connection. I think that it really just will go together with it. I think that this being an aged rum here, it's already a little smoky, throwing a little bit of that on top of there. Of course, you all know what burnt sugar smells like. It smells fucking delicious, okay?
Well, and the classic Bananas Foster is supposed to be, if you're doing Bananas Foster the way God intended, it's flambéed. You gotta throw some rum in there, you gotta throw the fire on there, so you actually caramelize the sugars. Oh, are you doing the glass over it again?
Yeah.
I like that technique a little bit more.
I think that it's the same. I don't think it tastes that different, but I think that it just, I don't know, it just seemed fine. It just seemed just as fine, so it didn't seem like a big deal.
I think...
Also, mine was smokier than yours the first time I had mine versus yours.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was thinking, where actually I think it made a whole world of difference putting the glass over it versus the dome, because you got the immediate first contact of the smoke on the glass. You're not waiting for it to go up and creep back around, so you get a lot more.
Be ready with your glass.
Oh, with mine? Oh well, hit him. And just a little extra assurance.
Because obviously it's not completely airtight, but I don't know, just to keep any of the extra smoke from coming out, I think.
God, I'm so curious about.
Oh, I smell it. I smell the sugar.
Oh,
it's of course it's it's burnt. It's caramel. It's sweet.
This is a great idea.
Yeah. I obviously, the minute I saw that, I was like, oh, obviously this is gonna have to be the two things that go together.
Obviously, I was kind of hoping I still had a little bit of I think it's Pinnacle or something, dark rum, because no shade to Chairman's Reserve, it was just you're kind of a third choice.
Oh.
You're still top 5.
You have the word reserve on you.
You got a reserve. You are an aged rum, and I respect the elderly, but it's a little sharp. We also got the Smith & Cross back there that would be a bit too much, man.
Let's do it. Go for it.
Oh, whoa.
Whoa, that's crispy. Look at that. Literally the sugar caramelized.
Oh, that sounds delicious. No,
that's crazy. Whoa. Don't touch it. Don't do what I did.
Don't put the molten sugar lava on your fingers. Unless, you're trying to flee somewhere and you need to erase your fingerprint.
I thought you were going somewhere else.
Oh, no. I was...
I don't know where. I actually don't know where you were going, but not there. Maybe, I don't know.
No, I was just doing, what is it, The Fugitive? Harrison Ford? Does he do that in that?
I don't know. Maybe
I don't know. I don't watch Harrison Ford movies.
Who does?
That is super interesting. No shade, Harrison Ford. If you ever want to come do the podcast, please reach out. If you ever want to come on just to yell at us for that joke, we'd be happy to have you on.
Remember, I didn't make the joke.
That's true. Wait. We both made this joke. This is such an interesting flavor such an interesting flavor combination. Again, it'd be maybe a bit better representation of what the potential of this could be if we had a little bit of higher shelf of an aged rum, like as a
You
Kappa?
just yo. Why you gotta do that to my homie?
They're-
Chairman Reserves Rum, not a sponsor yet.
It's a lot more mild than I expected it. I think the burnt sugar could have been maybe a little bit more defined. I kind of
Ooh, what are you talking? Hold on.
well
hold on.
in the flavor of the drink. The nose is good on the nose.
Hold on. Give it a whiff before you take a sip. Come on, what are you doing? You want to influence your palate.
I did that.
You want to influence your palate.
Now it's gone. I'm curious if we would have done
It's
like
the problem. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay, so Chairman Reserves Rum. You have a very distinctive flavor and body.
a very
That's very uniquely
classic
you.
rum flavor. Some may call you unrefined. Some may call you a bit brutish. But we call you
The master distiller of St. Lucia Distillers somewhere is like turning in their like bed, just like, "Oh, they don't know what they're talking about. I only use the best sugar cane."
finest rum agricole. No, like it was at a price point that I would kind of I'm not shocked.
What was the price point?
Like around 25.
Yeah, then that's what you get.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
It's not bad.
But I think that
it'd be a better mixer.
It doesn't cut. The thing is, the smoke doesn't cut through just this, and it's not just like the amount of alcohol. It's definitely the taste in the body because the James L. Pepper here, being 100 proof, that's a lot of liquor.
That's a good amount of that's some heat. That's some heat on there.
We haven't hit the hop yet.
That one I'm really excited about.
So what do you want to do? What wood?
What wood?
Wood.
Mesquite. I think because, as we've talked about in previous...
It tastes like somebody dumped a bunch of these inside of the Chairman Reserve's barrel. It doesn't taste naturally smoked. I'm sorry. I don't know what I'm talking about. I bet you the distiller is sitting somewhere and they're like, well, actually, what you're tasting is actually the rum agricole.
It's the natural fruity tropicalness of the rum.
Is that what that astringency is?
That
Tropical?
might be. It is kind of like a little. It's like a little banana-y. Anyway, back to the Van Brunt. We've had this on the show before. They're part of the movement. Not a movement.
The Empire Rye Association.
Yes, they're part of the Empire Rye Association, but this particular batch is not made with rye. It's made in the wake of the 2020 COVID lockdowns. Oh shit.
Faster.
Wait.
No.
Blast it again. Give it a.
Wait, it's going. What are you doing? You're wasting. You're overthinking it.
But the flame was gone. It's smoldering
It's
too.
smoldering. Hold on. Give it a second. Give it a second.
So mesquite, probably one of the most iconic
Okay.
barbecuing.
It's so fucking long. Keep talking.
I didn't know it was me. I thought you were doing you. I still had a little bit of rum left.
No, we're gonna make it. I'm learning that I think that it needs a.
It needs a good mound.
There we go. And then we're gonna.
Oh, I see. So mesquite's probably one of the most popular smoking woods, like barbecue smoking woods. Anytime a restaurant can be like mesquite smoked, da-da-da-da-da, they do. That's their whole jam. And so I figured since the hopped edition of Van Brunt...
Get him. You ready? Go.
The hopped edition of Van Brunt's whole thing is that it's made from repurposed surplus beer. And what goes better with barbecue than a beer?
That's true.
So this is distilled versions of both of that. It's distilled barbecue smoke. Well, not distilled, but like...
Beer, whiskey, and barbecue.
Beer and twins.
And don't know. It feels problematic. I don't know.
Is it the incest part that feels problematic?
No, I like that.
Oh, okay. It's
Anyway, I'm really excited to see what this tastes. So, oh yeah, you ready? Look at that.
Oh, this is gonna be.
Ooh.
And it's also still got a little bit of the.
Yeah, I like how you just dip like the tip of your fucking cup in the ashes.
There's too many ashes to
to
it. Yeah, a little bit. All right, that's good. I'm gonna give it a little swirl, make sure it grabs as much smoke as it can in there. Ooh. And I feel like I rimmed my glass in sugar, wood, and ash.
You fucking did.
And
Definitely.
I'm kind of here for it. I'm not mad at it.
No jokes, dude, guy. We have a fire extinguisher available. Don't do this at home.
That is. I feel like every time I taste the hopped edition, it tastes more and more like an IPA. Like I'm getting so much more of it.
Tastes like the IPA Jameson.
Yep.
It tastes like the IPA Jameson. It has the same characteristic.
Except it has more. It's more hops forward and less. But it's less citrusy, but it is citrus floral. Like it's the difference between something that's like vaguely orange infused and something that's orange blossom infused. Know what I mean?
100%.
And so this would be more on the orange blossom.
Ooh, that mesquite.
And the mesquite is intense.
The mesquite by itself is meaty. Oh yeah, I got a little ash in there.
I think together, that's a pretty rockin' flavor combo.
It gives it a little body.
It gives it the body that it desperately needs, because otherwise it's a little
this
too
is not
ginny.
even aged to probably like 6 months or something like that.
I mean, it can only be aged, as far as we know, at the most 3 years.
That's true. That's a fact.
So, as much as we would like to get more barrel characteristic on what would happen with...
And they didn't start at the first day of COVID.
Yeah.
It was probably like a year and a half in, where they were like, hey, partner with people. You know what I mean?
Well, let's see. When all the bars and restaurants closed in 2020 due to COVID, thousands of gallons of craft beer were destined to go to waste. We partnered with a distributor to collect this craft beer and distill it into American-style spirit with hops. Hopped Edition is a floral, citrusy, and complex love letter to beer enthusiasts everywhere. And I think...
So it doesn't say when.
It doesn't say when. It doesn't have an age statement or nothing. And that's okay. But I think the smokiness definitely gives it a certain body and dimension that it was kind of missing on its own. I think of the things we have here,
Yes,
Van Brunt...
getting ashes into a glass is not the greatest.
Just they are extinguished ashes, correct?
Yes. Except for that one really huge one.
Oh.
But that one's in the glass.
Talk about an Amber Alert. Or it's Ember Alert.
Talk about an Ember Alert.
I was also looking at the cognac.
I feel like that would be a really good thing for your comedy set there. You like, hold on a second. Whoa, hold on. I just got an Ember Alert. They're not gonna understand what you're talking about.
No one else is gonna get it. But if you're there, you'll
I'll
think
get
it's
it.
funny.
And I'm the most important person in the world.
And that's true.
How do you feel about smoking the things?
I think Smoking the Things turned out fantastic. I think we should keep our minds open to what other things we can smoke with what other spirits.
So what you're just saying is that people, they'll see this, they'll comment, and they'll be like, man, you should smoke some Tito's. And we'll be like, no. And then it'll become like a thing for 3 years. And then one day we'll smoke Tito's.
Smoke Tito's.
And that'll taste exactly the same.
But it'll have to be something ridiculous like, hey, I want you to smoke Tito's, but using fruit gushers. Like it's gotta be, we gotta up the stakes of it.
Just gotta up the ante?
Up the ante, because we had brown sugar on, we had some coffee beans on. Who knows? Next time we might do a little bit of like a smoked rubber band. We might.
Oh, that
we
sounds
might
good. I actually might throw this in there with the butane in there.
A little bit of smoked plastics.
Got my bush hat in there.
Well, some good microplastic. What else? What else?
Ooh, I love some BPAs.
Yeah, some BP. We could throw some motherboards on there.
I would
and
love that.
Smoke that just to see what kind of tinny mercury vibe.
I love that.
I'm just giving out some ideas. If you want to see us smoke something, remember, like, comment, subscribe, interact with us. Tell us what we should be doing better.
Wow.
We love criticism, and we're so secure with ourselves about it.
This has been great.
This has been fantastic. This has been Behind the Bar. My name's been Chandler.
I'm James.
And now you gotta leave, because I'm gonna keep just sniffing wood chips until...
This is for the...